Great. Looks like we have our room full, so I'm going to go ahead and get going. My name is Erin Nerstad. I am the Executive Director of the Master of Technology Management program here in the Technology Management Department at UCSB. And welcome. I'm so glad that you're here and that you're interested in our program. And this event should help prepare you to submit an outstanding application that I look forward to reading. So for our event, we're going to go over each one of the application components to give you a better sense of things to keep in mind for those, content of essays, and tips and tricks for those different application components. We'll also address the different application fees and application fee waivers if you qualify for one of those. I'll review the upcoming deadlines that you definitely want to be mindful of, and then I'll have time for your questions at the end. So please do submit those throughout the event using the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen, and then I'll get to those after the presentation. So just as a note, this event is being recorded, and I'll be sharing out the link to the recording after the event for you all, but feel free to take screenshots throughout the presentation if you would like. Another note is that you'll see some images in this presentation. The beautiful photography is compliments of my very talented colleague here at UCSB, Matt Perko. And then I had a little fun, as I like to do, using the Gen AI image generator in Canva for the other ones. So those tend to have a little quirkiness to them. So I hope you enjoy them as much as I enjoyed making them. Before I launch into all the application components, I just invite you to pause and to breathe. Because applying to graduate school can be stressful. There's a lot that goes into your application. You're asking for letters of recommendation. You're writing an essay about a purpose, your purpose. And so I realize that all of that can feel stressful. And I know that you are a hard worker and an overachiever and you want to do well. But I just want to let you know that you've got this. You're here at the webinar. You're going to do great on your application. So enjoy this picture of the beach and channel your inner Zen as you look at these two folks enjoying the beach that's adjacent to campus. And now into the nitty-gritty. So there are a few minimum requirements to apply for graduate school at UCSB. So one of them is the equivalent of a B average, a 3.0 GPA for the program. Exceptions to this are made only exceptionally. So if you feel that there are extenuating circumstances in your story that would necessitate further consideration of your GPA, if it's not at the 3.0 mark, then this is something that you can address in your essays. If you graduated from an institution that did not use the 4-point scale, you do not need to convert anything to the 4-point scale. We will do that for you, so don't worry about that. You also must have a 4-year bachelor's degree. So in general, the graduate division will not admit students if they do not have a 4-year bachelor degree equivalent. There are 3-year bachelor's programs out there. And so this is something that you need to be mindful of if you've completed a 3-year degree program. Often what's needed is an additional postgraduate degree that follows that. So if you're in a 4-year bachelor's program and you complete it in 3 years, that's totally fine. You've completed all the necessary coursework of a 4-year degree program, but you've just done it quickly, and so good for you. So that's great. Now on to the personal statement. So there's 2 essays that are required for our application. Both of these essays should be 2 pages maximum. They should be double-spaced and a 12-point font. For the statement of purpose, this is really where you get to tell us why is it that you're interested in the MTM program. We want to make sure that you're going to be happy in our program. So we want to know why it is that you want to do MTM so that you're going to be really happy when you're here. So we want to make sure that the program is a great fit for you, and tell us a little bit more about why you're interested in technology or why you're interested in innovation. What are your career goals? Tell us a little bit about how you will use your MTM degree to help achieve your career goals. And then it's always helpful to include experiences from your work history, from your academic experiences that can help illustrate the answers to these questions. Did you have an experience using technology at work that shaped the way that you interact with technology and you want to interact with it moving forward, for example? So what are those stories that can help illustrate why you're interested in MTM? For the personal history and diversity statement, this is a chance for you to share with us about any unique or challenging experiences that have shaped your interest in technology management, or your approach to work, or your approach to academics, or your career goals. This is a chance for you to show us your tenacity, your grit, what you're like when you encounter challenges and obstacles, and to show us kind of your hard work ethic. People who excel in MTM are go-getters. They come into this program, they hit the ground running, and they take advantage of their experience here in 9 months. And so tell us a little bit more about your background and what has shaped you. We also would like to hear about any examples that you've had of your experiences of working toward greater diversity inclusion in your diversity and inclusion in your personal and professional life. Is there anything you can tell us from the workplace, some actions you took, policies you helped to implement? Can you tell us about anything from your undergraduate career that would relate to this, but concrete examples of how you've advanced diversity and inclusion within your context? This is another place to tell us about your leadership experience. Were you a president of an organization? Tell us about that. Did you have a leadership role at work, on a team? Were you tapped for something? This is where you can talk about that experience, and we really do like hearing about those instances. One thing I'll also mention is that we see a lot of these essays, and while we are eager adopters of generative AI technologies in this department, I would caution you against overuse of ChatGPT to help you with these essays, for example, because we see so many of them. We can tell which ones have an over-reliance on Gen AI technology. So I would encourage you to speak from the heart, tell us about your experiences and your interest. We also require a resume. And I love this picture, but I'll give you a little pro tip that you shouldn't include your photo, your headshot on your resume in general. That's advice our career services team gives us. So despite what this lovely photo tells you, and actually it looks to be the resume of 2 different people, just a little preview of coming attractions from MTM Career Services about resume advice. So we want to hear about all the educational institutions and degrees that you have, so you can list those. We also want to know about your work experience, company title, job duties, and your accomplishments. If you are still an undergraduate student, but have had different types of work experience, did you have an internship, for example, please also list that so we know about that. This is also an opportunity to tell us about your extracurricular experience. So have you volunteered? Again, we love to hear about leadership positions and different roles that you've had in different organizations as well. So chance for you to tell us about that. We require 3 letters of recommendation, and at least 1 should be from an academic reference. So if you have been out of undergraduate for a while and you feel that it doesn't make sense for you to have a letter of recommendation from one of your professors from a while ago, and that you would have more germane letters of reference from people that you're working with now, that's fine. Just send us an email to let us know that context and that your letters of reference are coming from professional instead of academic sources. So your letter should come from people who have taught you or with whom you've worked in a professional capacity. I would counsel against asking other students for letters of recommendation, as those don't students are not able to speak to your professionalism in a way that someone who has, say, been your supervisor can. So we do recommend that your recommenders use letterhead, and they should also speak to your ability to excel in a rigorous graduate program, which the MTM program is, and your ability to perform in professional settings. We do require transcripts, your unofficial transcripts. After you have been admitted into the program, that's when you request the official transcripts. And we do require them from all institutions at which you have completed at least one full term of coursework. So if you did 12 units at your community college, send us that transcript. If you are able to send us your unofficial transcript in a native digital format so that it's natively a PDF, that's preferred to scanning a printout, for example. Some people don't have access to the native digital format, and that's okay. But if you have access, we would prefer just the PDF, native PDF version. If you are an undergraduate student still completing your bachelor's, you submit your in progress transcript. And then a question we often get is, when do you need to finish your undergraduate degree? So the first day of fall quarter in 2025 is September 21st. And so you need to have your degree conferred by the 20th. I mentioned this earlier, but just to reiterate, if you received your undergraduate degree from an international institution, go ahead and report your GPA on the scale that's in your transcript and we'll convert it for you. Exam scores. So great news for you. We don't require the GMAT or GRE. If you are someone whose native language is not English, you are required to provide language scores from one of three tests: the TOEFL, the IELTS, or Duolingo. And we do look at all of those scores, especially your writing and speaking scores. The exception to this is if you have completed your degree at an institution whose sole language of instruction is English, you are exempted from this requirement. So for our international applicants, we really do urge you to apply by December 1st so that you have sufficient time for visa processing. We're hearing from applicants and from students that it does become a lot more difficult to secure a visa after June 1st. So you want to make sure that you have your admission decision so that you can act on that and get your visa in a timely manner. So this is another few notes for our international applicants. So if you are admitted into the program, you must submit your SIR, your statement of intent to register, to begin that I-20 process with our Office of International Students and Scholars, OISS. And this information is on our website, but I just wanted to also flag it here that you're required to have the full cost of attendance for the I-20. And so that figure is what that is. That includes things like housing and health insurance and transportation and all the full cost of attendance for all of the things in addition to just the tuition and fees relative to the degree. So that information again is on our website. You can go to the main MTM landing page and then click on the cost to attend, and that'll have details. I just wanted to flag that so all of our international applicants are aware of that figure before requesting the I-20. Also wanted you to be aware of, this is a new requirement, is that if you are admitted, our international applicants are required to submit a WES course-by-course ICAP evaluation. So just a heads up on that. And there are some other trainings that information is also available on our website, but I just wanted to show this to you all now. So the application fee is $135 for domestic applicants and $155 for international applicants. You can pay with credit card, although American Express is not accepted, or check or money order. There are two options for fee waivers. So the first, if you are a current UCSB student or an alum from UCSB, you are eligible for a fee waiver from our department, from technology management. So that QR code listed right there will take you straight to the page that has more details and the link to the Google form to fill out. The Google form just involves some basic information and then upload your unofficial transcript. So pretty easy. If you are an alum, do not apply for the grad div waiver. Ours takes precedence. And then you do need to submit your fee waiver request 2 weeks before the application deadline. So that's November 17th, I believe, for the December 1st application deadline. So make sure to do that in the next couple weeks, but the sooner the better. So graduate division does also have some fee waivers. So theirs are only for US citizens and permanent residents. The only fee waiver available for international applicants is if you are a UCSB alum. So that's the only fee waiver for international applicants, is if you are a UCSB alum. So you can see there, they also, graduate division requires you to apply 2 weeks before the deadline. So get that in. And there are three options for eligibility. There are different programs. If you participated in those, they're often summer research programs. You could be eligible for the fee waiver. The whole list is on the graduate division's website. Financial aid is another option for eligibility, as is household income. I love this picture because this is a Gen AI image. I think I typed in beach, laptop, university. And I think it did a pretty good job, although her foot's a little weird. I don't know if you can see that. Application deadlines to keep in mind. So December 1st, we do urge our international applicants to apply by December 1st. And this is also your priority fellowship consideration. So all applicants are considered for our merit and diversity-based fellowships at the December 1st and February 1st deadlines. You will be most competitive for those if you apply by December 1st, but we do still make awards at the February 1st deadline. And March 1st is the final admission deadline for submission. And the applications are due by 11:59 p.m. on those days, on December 1st at 11:59 p.m. So our application process is holistic. We consider all parts of your application. And I also just wanted to emphasize that the essays here are really important for us because this is an opportunity for you to shine, and also just to clarify any weaknesses in your application, such as low GPA. Says limited work experience, but we have lots of students who are coming in straight from undergraduate. So this is not a limiting factor in your application at all. It's the percentages vary year by year, but currently maybe 50-50, I think, for people who are coming straight out of undergraduate versus folks who have, from 1 to 10 years of work experience. So that's another reason why our cohorts are so diverse. You get to work with people of a whole variety of backgrounds and experiences. So we do also conduct interviews just to gain a fuller understanding of you and to aid us in the holistic assessment. We don't interview everyone. We interview some folks. And so we always like to have those opportunities to just meet via Zoom to get to know you a little bit better. So I look forward to receiving your application, and In conclusion, you can enjoy some more scenics of UCSB. This is our leading out to Campus Point, between Campus Point and Goleta Beach here on the left, and that's campus. And then our beautiful bluffs with mountains in the backgrounds and our California poppies there that bloom with Stork Tower in the background. We want you to stay connected. If you are interested in speaking with a current graduate student in the MTM program, we do have a few students who would love to meet with you and tell you more about their experience in the program. So scan that QR code and that will take you to the email that you can email to reach out to meet with them. If you are a military veteran or veteran dependent, you can also reach out to speak with our current student veteran ambassador, who can tell you more about what that looks like for using your benefits for MTM and his experience in the program. Also invite you, if you would like to meet with my amazing colleague, Erin, more on the admissions team. There is a link to schedule a meeting with her, so you can ask more questions individually and hear more about MTM from her. But I do hope that you'll visit that page and stay connected in whichever way makes the most sense for you. And that's it from me. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then I'm going to bring up the Q&A. All right, so go ahead and submit your questions in the Q&A box here. Anything that you are wondering about that I didn't get a chance to address, I'm happy to do that now. So our first question is about the personal statements. And the question is it best to answer each question that is listed, or is it okay to focus on one or two of the listed questions that we can address best? This is a great question. Thank you for asking it. On our website, if you've had a chance to look through it on our admissions page, we have a lot of potential questions. And so I would invite you to think of those questions as prompts to get you thinking about how to best answer the or how to best address the statement of purpose and the personal history and diversity statement. So you can focus on the few that make the most sense for you instead of having to hit all of those. You wouldn't be able to address all of those in a coherent 2-page response. So please do go ahead and focus on the ones that you feel help you to best tell your story and to help you shine and to help us get to know you better and how you're a great fit for the program. Question about the MTM supported by the GEM Fellowship. I am not sure about the GEM Fellowship, but you can email me directly to follow up. My email, you can find it on the website. The shorthand version is eln@ucsb.edu, and we can have a conversation about that so I can hear more about that. I do want to say if you, there are a couple different funding sources that we do have mentioned on our website. So one of them is the Native American Opportunity Plan by the University of California system. Which is for folks who are California residents who are members of federally recognized Native American tribes. This Native American Opportunity Plan will cover your in-state tuition, and then the graduate division at UCSB will cover your fees and health insurance. So if that's you, if you fit that description, then definitely take advantage of that because MTM qualifies for that plan. And so, yeah, I urge you there. And then, as I mentioned, veterans benefits apply as well, even to cover the professional degree supplemental tuition, which is often a question that we have. Okay, other questions? Not seeing any more come in. So that must mean that I did a really terrific job of addressing all your questions. So really, I hope that your takeaway is that the application is definitely doable. You will succeed. We just want to get to know you better. And so you are the expert at telling your story. And, um, really, why is it that you are excited about the Master of Technology Management program? Did you go on our website and read about some of the profiles, for example? We have a lot of interviews with, well, last year's current students, and then also alumni to give you a better picture of kind of what that looks like from the student perspective in class. What are the classes like? What's the cohort model like? What's it like to work on the field project where our students work with local companies in teams of about 5 and work as consultants. And so that's a chance for you to dig in there. So yeah, so you can mention if you were inspired by anything you found on our website as well. My email again, I'm just going to say instead of drop it into chat for those who are watching the recording is ELN as in Nerstad at ucsb.edu. I have a much longer alias, but that one will reach me as well. We often get questions, as I'm seeing now, about the acceptance rate. So it's hard for us to give a blanket statement about that because our acceptance rates fluctuate based on year. And they also differ kind of based on where you're coming from. I mean, a general ballpark is about 40%, but we are a University of California school, and our mission is to serve California residents. And so we always have a lot of California residents in the program. And so admissions rates are stronger for that population that we have a mission to serve. So I hope that helps. Okay, question about submitting the TOEFL score after submitting the application if it was not received before the deadline. So we do encourage you to submit that ahead of time before you submit your application. But if you're having trouble getting that score before December 1st, for example, go ahead and email me or email our MTM admissions at TMP address that's on that Connect page to let us know about your circumstance. Okay, any more questions? Trying to think of other frequently asked questions that folks have. Okay, well, if there's no more questions, again, I do encourage you to reach out to me, to reach out to my colleague, Erin Moore, to meet with her, and to reach out to our current students who are really excited to meet you, their potential future alumni colleagues, and to tell you more about what their experience in the program has been so far. So do connect, stay connected as you're working through your application. If you have any more questions on any of the components, or if something's unclear, you're not sure, just please don't hesitate to reach out because we're here to help. And we're excited you're interested in the program, and we do look forward to receiving your application. Okay, so I'm going to give you all back 15 minutes. So enjoy your evening. Thank you for attending. You'll be receiving the link to this recording after the event. And thanks once again for your interest in MTM. Good night.